Yandy Smith had been through too much betrayal, prison visits, public humiliation, but nothing could have prepared her for this. It started with a whisper from the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta set. Cameras were rolling when Yandy broke down, holding Mendeecees' phone in her hand, tears in her eyes as her voice shook. What she read wasn't just friendly. It wasn't even innocent. It was a whole thread. A string of messages so personal, so loaded with inside jokes and late-night just checking on you texts. It made her whisper, "I trusted both of you." And in that moment, everything cracked. It wasn't one message. It was weeks. Flirty emojis, laughing at private memories. A late-night selfie. A text from Rasheeda that said, "You always make me feel seen." That line hit her like a punch. This wasn't just a betrayal. It was a deep, personal kind of hurt. Rasheeda was supposed to be her sister, and Mendeecees, he just sat there, frozen, too guilty to lie, too weak to admit it. Word spread fast. Someone on set leaked what happened, and now fans were scrambling to piece together how a 10-year friendship and a marriage rebuilt after prison both started crumbling over some messages. But the chaos didn't stop there. It was a regular Tuesday, a quiet setup for a simple roundtable scene in the studio loft. The topic was light business deals, collabs, who's working with who. But Yandy had already felt the shift. Mendeecees had been acting off for weeks, laughing at his phone, keeping it turned just enough that she couldn't see the screen, stepping out to take calls. Still, she let it slide. Until that morning, his phone buzzed, and Rasheeda's name lit up. Twice, in 5 minutes, her stomach dropped. When Mendeecees went to the bathroom, she did what she swore she'd never do again. She picked up his phone. The passcode was the same, and the moment she opened it, she felt her heart stop. This wasn't just texting. Rasheeda had sent a selfie, late at night, not sexual, but intimate. A photo in a robe. Emojis, jokes only the two of them shared. "You make me feel safe. Don't judge me, I'm comfy." Yandy just stared at the screen, frozen. Everyone was arriving. The crew was setting up lights. Mendeecees came back in smiling, unaware. And that's when Yandy, who had held it together for years, cracked wide open. "So this is what we doin' now?" The room went silent. Mendeecees turned, confused. "What you talking about?" She held up his phone. "You and Rasheeda. How long?" His face dropped. Rasheeda, who had just walked in, looked like she'd been slapped. "Wait, what?" she whispered. But Yandy wasn't even looking at her. She was locked on Mendeecees, disbelief and fury in her eyes. "You told me I was paranoid, that I overthink, that I make things up. And you've been texting her like I don't even exist." Her hands were shaking. The phone trembled in her grip, like it hurt her to even hold it. Mendeecees tried to speak. "She hit me about the event." Yandy cut him off. "That event was 3 weeks ago, and she's still texting you. She's calling you her piece. Are you out your mind?" Rasheeda stepped forward. "It wasn't like that, Yandy. I swear." But the damage was done. One of the producers tried to pause the scene, but Yandy didn't even hear them. "I forgave so much. I held this man down, and you let her be the one to play in my face." She sat down, hands in her lap, tears now falling freely. The cast was frozen. Even Kirk, who had just walked in, stood in silence. Scrappy leaned into Bambi, whispering. Bambi just shook her head. Uncomfortable. Unmoving. Mendeecees tried to sit next to Yandy, but she stood up fast. "Don't touch me. Don't say nothing." She looked at Rasheeda again, her voice cutting glass. "You were my sister. You knew what we went through, what we survived, and you still thought it was okay to joke and flirt with my man." This wasn't just anger, it was heartbreak. And everyone felt it. Yandy didn't scream. She didn't throw anything. She was just broken. Producers kept filming. One crew member later said, "It wasn't drama anymore. It was grief." Mendeecees never denied the texts. Rasheeda never denied sending them. That's what hurt most, that neither told Yandy the truth. She had to find it herself. She eventually walked off set. Security followed, but she didn't need them. She just needed air. Back inside, no one spoke. 2 minutes passed in heavy silence. Finally, Carly Red broke it. "Yo, that was real." No one responded. Outside, Yandy sat on the curb, hood up, sobbing. A nearby PA recorded the audio. She kept whispering the same thing. "I trusted both of them. I trusted both of them." Inside, Rasheeda pulled Kirk to the side, whispering frantically. He nodded, but his face was blank, stone cold. Scrappy tried to comfort Mendeecees, but even he looked unsure, uncomfortable. Bambi crossed her arms, staring down Rasheeda. The Energy was shifting. The women had formed a silent jury, and no one looked ready to forgive. Producers huddled in a corner. Someone said, "This is too real to cut. This is the kind of raw that people need to see." And they were right. This wasn't just scandal. It was exposure. Yandy hadn't just lost trust in one person. She lost it in two people she called family. The kind of betrayal you don't come back from. Inside, Mendeecees leaned against the wall, quiet. His confidence was gone. He kept replaying everything, in his mind, every word, every tear, every breath, and he knew there was nothing he could say to fix this. Rasheeda sat far from him, wiping her eyes with tissues. Kirk just stared at her, disappointed. Not shocked. Just disgusted. Scrappy paced. Carly stared at the monitors like she was waiting for someone to yell cut, but no one did. No one could. The cameras kept rolling. This was reality in its rawest form. And it was too real to interrupt. The next day wasn't loud or explosive, like before. It was quieter, like the moment before a storm hits. Tension hung heavy in the room, as if everyone was holding their breath, waiting to see who would break first. Cameras were rolling. Yandy stared straight at both of them. This time, there were no tears. No shaking. Her voice was calm, so calm, it chilled the room. "I had all night to think," she said. "And I realized something. I don't expect people to treat me the way I treat them. That's my fault. But what I do expect is honesty. And y'all couldn't even give me that. Mendeecees kept his eyes low, his hands locked together. Rasheeda looked like she wanted to speak, but stayed quiet, lips trembling under pressure. Yandy went on. "I've been on this show for years. I've watched people lie, cheat, backstab, and I always told myself, we're better than that. I thought we were different, but the camera don't lie, and it showed me exactly what I needed to see." Finally, Mendeecees spoke, voice quiet and unsure. "I didn't mean to make you feel like that. I swear it didn't go further than those messages. It was dumb, thoughtless. But it wasn't real, not to me." Yandy nodded slowly. "Maybe not to you. But it was real to me, and it was real enough for her to feel bold. You don't get to decide how deep the cut feels when you're the one holding the knife." Rasheeda looked up. "Yandy, I'm not trying to play the victim. I know what I did, and I know how it looked. I didn't expect you to find out like that. I was going through a lot. And I leaned on the wrong person. It was stupid. I'm sorry." Yandy didn't flinch. Her voice cut sharper now. "You leaned on my husband. You leaned into his attention. You crossed a line that was never yours to touch. And you didn't just hurt me. You embarrassed me. In front of the world. That's what keeps me up." Mendeecees tried to speak again, but Yandy raised her voice just enough. "And you. I'm tired. I'm tired of always being the strong one. The patient one. The one who forgives while everyone else makes a mess. I held you down when everybody told me to walk away. I gave you years. I raised our kids. I stayed when it wasn't easy. And this is what I get in return." Mendeecees looked wrecked. "I don't even have a defense. I messed up. I wasn't thinking about how it looked. I got too comfortable." Yandy stared at him. "You didn't get comfortable. You got careless. You made me feel disposable. Like everything we built could be thrown away for a few texts and a couple of inside jokes. Like it was a joke to you. Like I was." Silence filled the room. No one dared speak. The energy shifted. Yandy wasn't just heartbroken, she was done. "I don't want your guilt," she said. "I don't want your apologies. I want my dignity back. But y'all can't give me that. So from now on, you're getting a different version of me. The one who doesn't hold peace anymore. You want to text. You want to flirt. Go ahead, but leave me out of it." Then, without raising her voice, without even a final look, Yandy stood up and walked off camera. No yelling, no breakdown. Just gone. Producers let the cameras keep rolling for 30 more seconds. Mendeecees sat there, face in his hands. Rasheeda quietly wiped her tears. And the rest of the cast, frozen. No one moved, no one spoke. For the first time in love and hip-hop history, the silence was the loudest thing in the room. By the end of the week, the footage leaked, this time, with visuals. Clips of Yandy reading the messages, the moment Mendeecees flinched, the silence that followed. It went viral immediately. Social media blew up. Memes were everywhere. People clipped every glance, every tear, every quote. Fans picked sides. Some blamed Mendeecees, others dragged Rasheeda, and many wondered if Yandy would ever be the same. But one clip cut deeper than the rest the moment she said, "You don't get to decide how deep the cut feels when you're the one swinging the knife." It was shared, reposted, quoted on blogs. Everyone felt it. Because it was raw, it was real, and it was universal. Producers scrambled to plan the reunion episode. Everyone knew this would be the headline storyline. But whispers began that Yandy might not show, or if she did, it wouldn't be for reconciliation, it would be for clarity. Mendeecees was reportedly pushing for on-camera therapy sessions to show growth. Rasheeda was thinking about stepping away from the show altogether. And Kirk, he was trying to clean things up quietly, staying far away from the cameras. But Yandy, she went silent. No posts, no statements, no interviews, just stillness. And in that silence, fans got scared. Because when a woman like Yandy goes quiet, it means a storm is coming. One that doesn't come with yelling, it comes with closure. And when she finally speaks again, it won't be for forgiveness. It'll be for freedom. Because this wasn't just betrayal. It was revelation. It was about realizing the people closest to you might never have really seen you. Not the way you see them. And now the world had seen Yandy in her most broken, raw, exposed form. But maybe that's how healing starts. Not with silence. Not with apologies. But when you say, "I'm done pretending this didn't hurt," and you draw the line. From this point on, there's no turning back. Only forward. Even if that means walking alone. If you're watching this with your jaw still open, heart racing, trust me, you're not alone. This moment between Yandy Mendeecees and Rasheeda didn't just break the internet. It broke something in all of us. Because this wasn't just a storyline, it was a mirror, so we want to know. Do you think Yandy should forgive them? Is there a future for that marriage, that friendship? Was Rasheeda just emotionally lost, or did she cross a line that can never be uncrossed? Can Mendeecees ever truly earn her trust back? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if this shook you even a little. And make sure to subscribe, because this season of Love and Hip Hop didn't just take a turn. It flipped the entire table. And trust, the fallout is just beginning.